We are at a tipping point in terms of the impact of technology on business and society, and the reason is a big one. The industrial age has finally come to its logical conclusion. When you look around, there are all kinds of institutions, old models of the corporation, of media, of government, of education, science, democracy, that are all in various stages of being stalled or frozen or in atrophy or even failing, contrasted with the contours of a set of sparkling new initiatives that show how we can rebuild these institutions around a new set of principles and around a new communications medium. This is a time of very profound change in the world. It's driven by information technology, pulled by a new generation that's very different, and kicked by the global economic crisis. And it's causing companies to dig deep and to think, how are we going to orchestrate capability to be effective in the future? What will our relationships with the rest of the world be? And how can we change our modus operandi to be an effective and sustainable business going forward? We saw the rise of the nation state, parliamentary democracy, science, the new university, the corporation, commercial relationships, capitalism, and the Industrial Revolution, and it was all good. It advanced our standard of living and productive forces around the world. But it came with a cost. During the industrial age, many business leaders held that the purpose of a corporation was to make money for its shareholders. But that's changing now, because society has really granted corporations a license to operate, and increasingly we're demanding of them that they create not just good value products and services, but they behave according to some values. The values of integrity, that they're honest, considerate of the environment and of others' interests, that they are accountable and abide by their commitments, and that they're open and have transparency. As recently as 100 years ago, we had an agrarian economy in parts of the world, and the knowledge was tightly concentrated in tiny oligopolies. People didn't know about things. There was no sense of progress. Along comes Johannes Gutenberg with his great invention, and over time different parts of the society began to acquire knowledge. The printing press gave us access to recorded knowledge. The internet gives us access to data and information and knowledge in new ways, but more importantly, to the intelligence contained in the crania of other people on a global basis. The term digital economy has been around since the early mid-1990s, and I think back then it was true that we underestimated the impact of technology in the long term and overestimated it in the short term. Now I think that's flipped. I think that the pace of change is accelerating so quickly that the tendency now is to underestimate the impact in the short term. And companies that do that do so in their peril. I've never been more optimistic in my life, because everywhere I look, I see the contours of a new set of institutions, new models of the enterprise, of government, democracy, science, healthcare, the university, the schools, our cities. Everywhere, governments are experimenting with new models of democracy to try and open up and engage young people. And all around the world, we're moving into a period of innovation and of new energy and new opportunity like we've never seen before. And I look at all this activity and I get a lot of hope that this smaller world our kids inherit will be a better one. Sure, this is an information age, but it's more than that. It's an age of networking of human intelligence. It's an age of collaboration. It's an age where people can participate in the economy and in society in ways that were unthinkable. And to me, yes, it's an age of danger, peril, but fundamentally it's a time of vast opportunity and promise.